Thank you. So, welcome to the Economic and Industry Development Committee number 9 for 2021. Opening the meeting at 10:54. I can see that all councillors are in attendance. I have no apologies. There are no declarations of interest in the matters on the agenda today, and we have no business outstanding. So moving on to item number 1, which is a confirmation of the minutes of the last Economic and Industry Development Committee number 8 of the 2nd of September 2021. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Fechner. So the recommendation is that the minutes of the Economic and Industry Development Committee number 8 held on the 2nd of September 2021 be confirmed. No one wants to speak to any officers. Any discussion in relation to that? So I'll look for a vote. All of those in favour? Thank you, and it's unanimous. And so moving on to the officer reports, item number 2, which is the Small Business Education Program. The report concerning Council's education program for small businesses running through the chambers, and I'll move that. Can I get a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman. And does anyone want to speak to the relevant officer? Yes.
Good morning, Chair, Mayor and Councillors. Kat Matson, Manager of Economic and Community Development.
Thanks, Ms. Matson.
Through the Chair, may I ask, it's great to see these topics. I think during budget we made sure we had extra money allocated for education, for small business and so on. And what's been the feedback, good, the bad and the ugly from this?
I'm really glad to say that there hasn't been any ugly feedback. The good feedback is that this is fantastic information and that our small business owners are crying out for it. I've been working in small business for 20 years now, and in fact, it's only been in the last 8 years of working in local council that I've worked on the other side. And it never ceases to amaze me how necessary and how essential these small business skills are. And it's really easy for those of us who have got some experience to forget that there's always new small business owners. There's always small business owners hitting their new phase of growth, their new challenges, whether it's hiring new people or managing a growing team. And so these education programs are quite literally providing the essential skills ongoing. So to answer your feedback, Mayor, the feedback has been this is fantastic, please keep doing them, please keep them up. There has been some market interest as to why sometimes we do bring in outside providers, like for example one of the financial literacy programs that we've engaged is BDO. Now the BDO financial literacy program for small businesses would have to be one of the leading in the country, and it just so happens that they're based down the road in Brisbane. So we chose to go with an outside provider for that one just because of the calibre of the program. But as you'll see in the report, the vast majority of our presenters and experts are from the Ipswich area.
Okay. I just want to go to some of them if that's okay. Obviously, introduction to selling to council is a new one. How's that going? Because obviously with our push for Buy Ipswich, how's that going?
That has been a massive eye-opener for our local businesses as well as for us, for council, to understand where the friction points are. Yes. So they have been really, really well received. And a lot of our small businesses who have been attending are now starting to work with us to be able to sell to council.
Do you think that we'll be looking at changing our procurement process, or can we move it to make it easier for local businesses to tender?
Yeah, and that is part of it, yes. Which contracts can we change our processes on, based on both policy as well as on legislative requirements, and how do we streamline the process to make it easier? So yes, we are working with the procurement team. In fact, that's probably our next big project within the Small Business Friendly program of work, is the procurement of council of local small businesses.
Okay. How is the modern marketing going?
Yeah, really good. Facebook algorithms have changed a lot, for example, and so people know that they need to be using social media, but they don't necessarily know how to engage. So the modern marketing workshops have been really well received as well. And we're seeing already that the small businesses are feeling more confident and empowered in how to engage in those platforms.
Okay. The financial literacy, how was that going?
That's good. So that's one of the BDO ones.
Yep.
Sadly, we had a lot of no-shows. I shouldn't say sadly. We know that if we offer a free event, then 50% tend to not show up, which was disappointing. But the ones who did show up for our first financial literacy program were absolutely gobsmacked at how good it was. They were raving about it. And I do remember anecdotally that there was one participant who said, I've been in business for 20 years and I didn't know this stuff. My accountant never told me. I didn't know that this was what I should be doing. So, yeah, they've been fantastic, and we're really upping the ante on our marketing and communications for the next ones.
Asking you to put your other hat on and the stuff that we're doing with the arts community, one of the outcomes of that Art Summit last year was helping creatives do that business plan on a page. Do you think this could be used with that community as well? Or?
Absolutely, Mayor. And so we have been promoting these workshops to the arts community, as well as building a program of complementary programs that will also support our artists. So there are some nuances, for example, in tendering or applying for grants in the arts community that is slightly different to what you would be doing here in tendering for business. However, part of the plan is to ensure that we are, where possible, bringing the business community and the arts communities together so they're learning from each other. So rather than arts communities being isolated and only learning about arts business skills, how do we actually bring everyone together to strengthen networks as well as to strengthen capability?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Madsen. Just moving into discussion now. I've heard really great feedback from my community of small businesses that the quality of the courses on offer are high, and the facilitators that we've got on board know their stuff. So that's what our small businesses need. Their time is precious. So to sit down for an hour or two out of their day, taken off the tools or whatever their business may be, to then walk away with worthwhile information and data is something that I'm pretty proud of, the fact that we could help facilitate this. And out of the 22 workshops, 18 have been facilitated by local experts. And to date, there have been 263 participants across those 22 workshops in the three locations that they've been held at. So I've heard great things, particularly from the Greater Springfield Chamber in relation to these events. So,
yeah. I think it's great, Chair, that we are having them in the 3 different locations, not just centrally in the CBD, but also in Springfield and Rosewood.
Yeah. City of Centres. Yeah. Any further commentary, discussion? So I'll move that to a vote now. All those in favour? Thank you. So that's unanimous. And I've got no notices of motion or matters arising. So I will close the meeting now at 11:03. And I'll be back in 10 minutes for the next one at 11:13. Thank you.